realistic that girl, kind of an oxymoron. Hey everyone, I'm Abbey Sharp. Welcome to Abby's Kitchen. Today we'll be taking a look at lifestyle YouTuber Tara Michelle and her realistic that girl routine. But first, let me tell you about my sponsor, Cook Unity. As a food blogger and cookbook author, I spend a lot of time in the kitchen. But I'm also a busy mom of two and business owner, so there's a lot of days when I just can't. Sometimes I don't have the inspiration, sometimes I don't have the time, sometimes I don't have the ingredients, and sometimes I just don't have the drive. So whenever we're down south in the States, we always stock up on some creative signature meals from Cook Unity. So Cook Unity has over 50 talented chefs from some of the best restaurants in the country working out of regional micro kitchens instead of massive production facilities, so you feel like you're getting a restaurant meal at home. Basically, you let them know what you like and what you don't like, and you pick a flexible meal plan. So you can get as few as 4 or as many as 16 meals per week. Then you can select from hundreds of meals that align with your preferences and dietary restrictions, and they use all really high quality chef-driven ingredients. The meals are delivered fresh, not frozen, in compostable, recyclable, or reusable packaging, along with expiration dates, heating instructions, and nutrition information. And then a few days before your delivery, you get a text to make your selections for the next week. It feels like one big thing off my plate that I just can't screw up. Everything I've tried is amazing, and the menu rotates constantly with a wide range of different cultural flavors and preparations, so it helps to fill the gaps with inspiring, fun meals for those nights when things just get so hectic. So if you want to try Cook Unity out yourself, go to cookunity.com or click the link in the description and use my code ABBY50 to get 50% off of your first order of meals. And you can pause the screen or look at the description to check out my disclaimer, including a trigger warning to those with current or previous experiences with disordered eating. So as always, feel free to skip this video if it's not supportive to your journey. And if you are not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button and follow me over on TikTok and Instagram at Abby's Kitchen. So if you missed my juicy take on the that girl trend and all the ways in which I myself cannot participate, then I strongly suggest you check out these videos right here. But in short, the that girl trend of TikTok has young influencers sharing all of the aesthetically pleasing ways that they live their healthiest, most productive life and how they do it all before 9 a.m.
That sounds fake, but okay.
And while this trend may have initially been a well-intentioned way to inspire others to engage in acts of self-care, it has quickly taken a turn for the worse. Not only does it perpetuate toxic social media comparisons, an unreachable lifestyle, and a superficial version of self-care, but some interpretations may also promote disordered eating. So yeah, your girl is not on board. But I'm not the only one to share my perspective on the trend. So today we'll be taking a look at Tara Michelle's realistic approach to the that girl day, and we'll decide how realistic it actually is.
I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing with this thing, but it feels good, so we keep doing it.
So far, we're already checking off a lot of the that girl boxes with the early wake up time, glass of water, and skincare routine. But as promised, I would say this is a more manageable version. Like, we're not waking up at 4 a.m. and chugging a whole liter of lemon water or doing a 20-step skincare routine followed by journaling, meditation, reading, and setting our manifestations and intentions for the day. Side note, all of those things are amazing, and if you like doing them, keep doing them. But let's be real. They're not so realistic for a lot of people to do all those things before 9. But yeah, I do think that this looks like a morning routine that I could realistically do. I also appreciate the I don't know what the I'm doing moment with the gua sha, because let's be honest, does anyone know what they're doing with that thing? No clue. If it feels good to rub a rock on your face, Great, you do you. Rub away, rub-a-dub-dub.
And I've decided I'm going to be that girl, or like that girl in a realistic way, because those girls leave things out. They don't show you cleaning their glass straws or their metal straws or whatever they use. There's a little in-between moment. Health, planning, movement of the body. Start planning the day.
Yes, less perfection, more relatable content.
Yes!
One of my biggest beefs with the that girl trend is that it tends to be really unrealistic and inaccessible for most folks, while pushing a one-size-fits-all ideal of what living your best, healthiest life looks like. And if the true goal is to live a happier, healthier life, then it should embrace the messy, spontaneous, less Instagrammable moments of the journey, not just the beautiful end state. It also shouldn't be something that adds more stress and pressure to your day. So I like that Tara is keeping it simple by focusing on manageable yet non-specific tasks like planning out her workday, moving her body, and just feeling good in general. Love that we're getting a nice balance of protein, healthy fats, and fiber in this simple combo. Though I would say that most folks might need a little more energizing carb action to get moving first thing in the morning. And since our insulin sensitivity is actually highest in the morning and our energy needs are greater in the day, it's advantageous to kind of front load some of those carbs in the morning meal and get that brain food in. So this could really be as simple as adding some toast, some oats, or some fruit on the side. I also want to point out that in effort to be a more realistic that girl, Tara didn't fuss about making this like a perfectly aesthetic plate. Like, we didn't even get a hero shot, which I gotta say I respect, because in real life, who has time to style their breakfast for the gram? This is why I kind of hate doing this kind of vlog content, because I just feel so unnatural to let your food get cold before you eat it so that you can get a perfect picture. Only influencers shooting content will style their breakfast. And even when the camera isn't rolling, they probably just go ahead and shove that ugly ass breakfast into their mouths too. Just an FYI. Just a little behind the scenes hot tip.
I love waking up early because there is so much that gets accomplished before like noon. I mean, it's 12:30 now, but I have been productive. The day has been planned, posted my video for today. I had breakfast, had my coffee, which was delicious.
So I am part of the 48% of women who identify as a morning person. And research suggests that there are actual genetic markers to this trait, which I think is kind of cool. So if you can't think clearly until noon, you're not just not disciplined enough, you're just who you are. So right off the bat, this trend isn't going to feel good or intuitive to like half the population. Even more so if you're a man for whom only 40% prefer the AM.
Wake up, wake up!
So as with all lifestyle trends, you'll have a lot more luck if you work with your strengths, not against them.
I'm actually gonna go out and get a nice healthy lunch, something that I've missed for a long time. I haven't had it in so long and I'm really excited. I'm going to walk over there, put my music in, and just like have a nice little stroll, some sunshine on the face.
I really appreciate how low fuss this routine is so far. Like, Tara didn't even make her bed until around noon, which I feel is often at the very top of the that girl to-do list. Side note, I never make my bed. Argue with me about it in the comments. I don't see the point when you're just gonna mess it right back up again. But I love that she opted for a more leisurely, joyful movement in the sun rather than a strenuous or structured HIIT workout, which is something that I think a lot of us forget just feels so good. As for lunch, it looks like she's having something she genuinely enjoys and is excited about, not something that she feels is requisite of being that girl.
This is so good. I'm so happy.
All my Canadians can agree that there is nothing more pleasurable than a good meal outside in the sun. and it is a beautiful day outside, so I am dying to get out there. But I think that while a lot of the That Girl routines are cost and time prohibitive and therefore just not even possible for most working people, I think stepping outside during a nice day to catch some rays is something that most of us can afford to do. As for Tara's salad, this looks so bomb. We're getting tons of fiber and micronutrients from the veggies, protein from the chicken, and healthy fats from the avocado. We've got a little carbs in the tortilla chips, but totally room for more if she wanted. Ultimately though, I don't get the impression that she's intentionally cutting carbs, as in one of her previous What I Eat in a Day videos, she featured tons of carb action with like a rice and veggie stir fry for lunch and mac and cheese for dinner. So I just remind you that you can be that girl if you choose to eat mac and cheese with your bestie straight out of the pot. Sometimes a carb-packed nostalgic meal from your childhood is exactly the self-care you need.
I like kind of burnt the gnocchi. This is the reality, you know? Okay. You know what? It's fine.
Trader Joe's, if you are watching, come to Canada. We will welcome you with open arms, an empty belly, and a full wallet. Trust me, come to us. But anyways, okay, I love that even though the burnt gnocchi wasn't very aesthetic, she was just like, it, nothing that a little cream and butter can't fix. Amen, girl. Having said that, this is still like a lower carb, low protein meal, and getting a nice balance of carbs and protein increases tryptophan, which supports serotonin and melatonin release, so this can help to promote a more restful sleep. So to boost up the protein here without compromising on flavor, we could sprinkle a few tablespoons of nutritional yeast on top or add in some canned white beans or leftover chicken.
But I think to be that girl and to do that girl things, just do what makes you happy. That's really all it is. If that's working out, fantastic. If that's eating yummy food that fuels your body, that's great. But you know what? Let's be honest. We can't do that all the time. Sometimes we have to eat an entire pizza to ourselves because that's what we feel like. Do what makes you happy. It's all about balance, mindset. It's important to only be inspired by the highlight reels and not compare your own life. And like if you're not doing something productive, if you're not having a productive day, or you didn't eat super well one day, that, you know, you've done something bad. Like you haven't, you know, it's all about balance. And even those girls have balance in their lives. Can't be perfect 100% of the time. I think we're all that girl. It's just genuinely how you feel about yourself. And I'm that girl whether or not I make my bed in the morning. I'm that girl whether or not I have a super productive day.
I 1000% agree. And like I discussed in my video on the That Girl trend, one of the major issues that I have with it is that it promotes a one-size-fits-all health ideal, one that often presents a very narrow and privileged definition of health. Most folks don't have 4 hours before starting work to dedicate to their skin.
Cassie decided to wake up at 4 a.m. that morning to get ready for school. She needed to clear her head.
So please know, you are enough if you slept until 10, you took a rest day off the gym, ate leftover pizza for breakfast, didn't make your bed, or haven't seen the sun in days. Self-care is a lot more than a beauty mask, bubble bath, and champagne in a clawfoot tub.
Let's fill up this clawfoot bath with bubbles.
That does sound really good right now. I also want to remind everyone that whether or not a health trend like That Girl is problematic will often depend on one's unique why. So are you going to that 6 a.m. spin class because it gives you energy, adrenaline, and endorphins that you genuinely crave? Or are you dragging yourself through that class to fit in with the That Girl life? Are you meditating in the mornings because it brings you peace and calm? Or are you just putting in the time to like check it off your list? Our health and wellness routines should serve us, not an external source like our Instagram feeds or public opinion. So as you continue to get bombarded with these healthy girl routines and feel inspired to revamp your own, take a minute to self-reflect on who the routine serves and whether or not it even feels good to you. If it adds more stress, pressure, and obsession, it's not a healthy habit for you. With that said, do I think that Tara's That Girl routine is realistic? Well, we had an unmade bed, a quickie skincare routine, burnt food, and we even ate real dairy.
Wow.
So it's nice to see an influencer kind of like breaking the mold. The problem with this day isn't so much the perpetuation of pressure to perform, but that it was sadly very low in calories, likely around 1,200 to 1,300 calories max. And I checked out her previous What I Eat in a Day video to get a gauge on consistency. And while it was higher in carbs, it still fell in this suppressed calorie range as well. So I just want to remind everyone that 1,200 calories is the caloric needs of a toddler, not a grown adult. It's very hard to meet nutritional needs with so little food. So if this is not intentional restriction, but rather a challenge with consistent appetite or early fullness, I've got lots of tips in my video right here for adding calories to your meals. But in Tara's case, I think it really could be as simple as just adding a little more carbs to meals and throwing in 1 or 2 energy-dense snacks. Let's normalize carbs as being cool for that girl. So in conclusion, if watching videos of people's healthy routines inspires you to try new things and discover more joy and calm in your day, then I think that they can serve as a great motivator. But if you take anything away from this, it's that this is a very privileged trend, and you are not less than if you can't afford the time or access to all of the rituals that girl prescribes. Most people can't. And if it brings you feelings of guilt, shame, or anxiety trying to embody a trend that doesn't fit into your reality, then we need to just let it go.
Let it go, let it go. Can't hold it back anymore.
But shout out to Tara for helping to kind of normalize some of the more imperfect and slower moments of our day that just feel good regardless of how they look. So on that note, that's all that I have for you guys today. If you like this video, be sure to give it the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time at Abby's Kitchen. Bye!